Enough of the thumbnails, holding your face like you're surprised. Enough of the graphics and the charts. I get it. You want to show other people that they can do it too. I understand. But there's 1,000 other people doing the same thing. But you can't have 5 and 10 videos thinking DoorDash. You just can't. We've got to stop looking at other creators and their content and thinking that's a new wave. What's good for one person is not always good for the rest. Welcome back to the channel. This Can I Be Ernest? Coming to you live once again from the park on another beautiful autumn morning/afternoon. You see the title. Might be a little controversial to some of you guys. Stop using DoorDash in your titles for views. I see what's going on. YouTube is a dirty game. It's a dirty game. No idea is original. And we all know this. But I see the games. And before anybody gets their panties in a bunch and start thinking that this is some type of hate video, it's not. I'm very complimentary to anybody who finds their version of success, however they get it. Get it how you get it. If it's going the unconventional route, I'm your biggest fan. But what I'm noticing now is how YouTube pits us against one another. What I mean is this. You know, there was a time where originality won. If you were your true, authentic self and you got on this platform, somehow you gained traction. Through the grace of God, through whatever, you gained traction, just doing your own thing. And then all of a sudden, YouTube got greedy and started rewarding content creators monetarily. And once money's involved, that's when things get a little tricky. So you see DoorDash right now, she's doing her thing. And all of a sudden, here comes these small YouTubers, small content creators doing the same thumbnails, showing their little graphics in the corner about how much they earn, their revenue. Stop. Let DoorDash have her lane. Find your own lane. If that means it's going to take you an eternity to get to the promised land, so what? Rome wasn't built overnight, right? The old saying. Take your time with this. Seriously. You know, again, I see creators with 20 subscribers and, 10 videos talking about how YouTube is changing their life. It's not. What is it changing? Is it allowing you to be more comfortable in front of the camera? Okay. That could be life-changing if you're a shy person. Public speaking may not be your thing. You know, you're not really public speaking, but you're, looking at yourself. I get that. But it's not life-changing. DoorDash cracked the code however she did it. Some people are saying she used promo because she's been around for a long time. And suddenly she blew up overnight. She hasn't been on here as long as I have. But she found some kind of success on here. And now everybody is using her name and their titles for views. Similar to what I did. Except I'm not doing it for views. I'm doing it as a warning. Just be yourself. You don't have to thank DoorDash. There were plenty other people like DoorDash before. What did she do? What did she do for you? Did she give you the confidence to turn the camera on because now you think you can see the same kind of monetary gains as she has? Thank her when you start seeing the monetary gains. Again, $5 a month is not life-changing. 1,000 subscribers is awesome. 4,000 watch time hours, that's the goal. But if you're using her name to gain traction, but you don't really have content, I kind of feel like you got the whole thing backwards. Pardon this one piece of hair, I apologize. But I kind of feel like you got the game backwards if you're just using her name for views and subscribers. Your journey is not her journey. So maybe you quit your 9 to 5, Maybe you're doing DoorDash and Grubhub, and maybe you're about to quit that because your goal is to become YouTube famous. But your path is not her path. So thanking her is cool, but I know what you're doing. Using her name as an advantage. And I don't think it's a terrible thing, but I think it's bad when you do it repeatedly. Video after video. Thank you, DoorDash. If it weren't for you, I wouldn't know what to do with my life. Thank you, DoorDash. You've given me hope. Thank you, DoorDash. You found a way, and so have I. There have been plenty of content creators to do what she's done. Plenty. That started out doing pretty much nothing, and they amounted to something in whatever time period it took them. So again, I get it. We're in this society where anytime you say something that's, I don't know, comes off with a negative connotation, you're a hater. Stop hating on other people's success. It's not hate. If you say it respectfully and you point out facts, it's not hate. Hate is when, you just rip the other person a new one, tear them apart, tear them to shreds. Oh, your content sucks. You ain't SHIT. You this, you that. That's hate. But that term is so overused and outdated. I mean, it's been around for 25, 30 years now. Enough. Everything's not hate. Everything's not hate. You're allowed to feel how you feel and express yourself. It's not the end of the world if somebody has a different opinion than yours. But the bottom line is this: if you're using her name to gain likes, to gain views, to gain subscribers, you've got the game messed up. That's just not what YouTube is about. Back in 2007, when the Chocolate Rain dude was a big sensation, I don't remember seeing people using his techniques to get followers, coming up with fake songs. I remember one parody. A guy did something called Vanilla Snow or something like that instead of Chocolate Rain. All right. We've always had people in history to do stuff like that. If you're old enough to remember Weird Al Yankovic, he's done that for decades and made riches off of it, making fun of songs and things of that nature. But most people didn't do that. If you saw somebody in this lane, you kind of just shifted the other way. So if comedy was your lane, maybe you did comedy, but you didn't do the exact comedy of the person who's getting traction. But like I said, I'm noticing the trend. I'm noticing the 9-to-5 trend. Everybody wants to quit the 9-to-5. Kudos. 9-to-5 is not for you. Kudos. I totally get it. It's not for me. But to make every video where you're thanking somebody for their success, although it doesn't equate to your success, it's questionable. And YouTube rewards these creators. So that's why it's a dirty game. Because YouTube rewards them. People who go out their way to purposely not use another creator's name in their titles, those are the ones we should be respecting and giving props to, because they're getting it from the mud. They're doing it the old-fashioned way. They're trying to create their own lane and not leech off of somebody else. But you can't have 5 and 10 videos thinking DoorDash. You just can't. Because what's your content about then? Are you going to just keep showing me graphics and charts about your YouTube earnings? What are we doing? We've got to switch it up. And YouTube's got to start rewarding those who are leeching off of other people. It's unfair. It creates an unfair advantage for those who are just trying to be original. I could create 5, 10 videos right now on DoorDash. My pros and cons, what I hope to aspire to be on here, That's not cool. That's going against my whole strategy on here. Can I Be Ernest is basically a channel where I'm doing a little social commentary and I'm mocking whether my life or just life in general. And right now I'm just mocking these creators who think that this is the way. This ain't the way, man. Get it out the mud. Don't try to become an overnight sensation. Don't try to do all that. It works for some of us. I get it. You get rewarded when you go viral. You feel a little celebrity status. Ooh, my video got 1,000 more subscribers. It gained about 10,000 views. It feels good. I'm sure it feels great. But just stick to originality. Stick to your game plan. If your game plan wasn't to do DoorDash, don't quit your 9 to 5 to start doing DoorDash because you see success there. Don't be a fool. Stick to your job until you're ready to get out. We've got to stop looking at other creators and their content and thinking that's a new wave. It's not. Just stay in your own lane. There's less crowded in your own lane. And if it gets crowded, shift lanes. Put your signals on, put your blinker on, and get into the right lane. What's good for one person is not always good for the rest. Think about it. But that's what YouTube has done. It's created this race to cash out because everybody's so tired of their job and everybody wants to just kind of, get some type of income doing the things they love. And again, no knock, but please be original somehow, some way. If you don't have a game plan on here, I would advise not to duplicate what you see others doing just to gain traction. I just think it's a recipe for disaster. Trends come and go. Look at fashion. All of a sudden baggy clothes are in. Baggy clothes is my era. We were getting clown wearing baggy clothes about 5-10 years ago. If you weren't wearing anything skinny or slim, you got laughed at. You couldn't wear jean shorts or jorts. You couldn't do any of that. Now all that is back because young people think that's, the wave right now. That's the part that gets very complicated with fashion, trends, and just trends in general. They come and they go. So, big shout out to DoorDash. She's doing her thing, but do your thing. How about that? Do your thing. Your thing can't be her thing. Can other people quit their job and do what she did? Of course. Doesn't mean you got to document it like her and do the same type of content as her and use the same thumbnails as her and be very thankful and compliment. You ain't complimentary like that in real life. Stop it. When the last time you thanked your friend or your partner or your child? Don't start thanking strangers just to get traction. If I thank her, I'll get 1,000 subscribers. No, I ain't thinking nobody. I'm thinking myself, the man upstairs. I'm not gonna thank other content creators unless you really, really need to thank them. But YouTube's gotta start rewarding people for just copying, for duplicating. It's not fair to those who are just really trying to do their own thing and can't find their lane, can't find the right SEO, can't find anything. They're doing whatever it takes. You got people doing this who are in their 40s and 50s now. You got people saying, hey, if you're 40 and 50 years old, get your ass on YouTube and make content. I'm seeing those titles everywhere now. If you're a Gen Xer, if you're a millennial, get on YouTube. I've been on YouTube. I've been on here. This ain't new. Old heads been making content. But notice the wave, though. Those are the titles you're starting to see on your homepage. It's a funny game, man. So find your lane and stick to it.